My oldest is in college, and before she went, I joined a Facebook parent group for that school, and I learned so much about parenting just watching other people parent. One of the big things I learned is that too many parents think they're helping when they're probably actually hurting not only their kids and their personal development, but also the relationship they have with their kids. There's something I've talked about before. It's called waiting for the ask. This was not necessarily a parenting tool as much as a way to free up our brain and to stop doing so much all of the time. You see, when our kids get into middle school or high school for sure, they are seeking their own independence, right? They are figuring out who they are outside of us, and that's a great time for us to figure out who we are outside of them. But a lot of parents out there have not released control, and this could be due to a lot of different things. One of them is definitely a habit. When you do something every day, multiple times a day, you're going to create that automatic response. So when your kid calls you up and they say, "Hey, I can't figure out how to turn the heat on in my dorm room," a parent's response could be, "Well, I'll figure it out. I'll call somebody." We can't do that forever. We're doing ourselves a disservice and them a disservice. So in the past, what I've said is we've got to wait for the ask. And that did two things. One, it allowed the kid the time and the space to figure it out on their own. So if they're missing their backpack or they failed a test or something happened to them where they're clearly distressed, instead of jumping in and saying, "Hey, I saw your backpack in the living room behind the couch," or "Do you want me to call your counselor?" Instead of jumping in and solving their problem, let them figure it out on their own. They're either going to figure out the problem or they're going to figure out that they need your assistance, they need your support. So you're just waiting for the ask, which allows them to problem solve and work on their troubleshooting skills. But the other thing it does, it helps separate you from them. So instead of jumping up to help or even thinking about it, you wait and you pull back, because how often do you stop what you're doing to help your kids? I'm betting it is a lot, especially if you are a mom, especially if you are a stay-at-home mom, or like me, a work-from-home mom. You know everything that's going on all the time. And our predictive skills are so good. It can actually prevent us from being in the moment because we are constantly being mentally pulled out of whatever it is we're doing. So learning how to sit back, wait for the ask is really, really good for us. Last summer, I read a book called How to Raise an Adult. That's another one of those books that I wish I had read earlier, like way before I needed it. And it was validating and also a little scary. Julie Lythcott-Haims talks about how parents are having a difficult time letting go of their kids. They're so intertwined with their lives that when their kids get older, the parents are still doing a lot of the work, including going to campus with the kids, seeing counselors, solving dorm issues, solving roommate problems, and also, and this one blew my mind, showing up to interviews for first jobs with the kids. Like, these are your young adults, especially if that kid has done with college and they are going off to their first real interview. I thought, there's no way. And yes, they are, because I Googled it. People were sharing their experiences when it comes to parents either interacting with HR at a company, showing up for an interview, or being off camera and giving their kids tips on what to say. Again, the book is called How to Raise an Adult. Parents do have the default pattern of stepping in for their kids. The reason why this matters for you as a parent, for you as a mom right now, is because you are going to be transitioning into your next stage of parenting. I call it the on-call mom stage, where you are just waiting to be needed. So learning how to wait for the ask is really a key component of transitioning into your empty nest, into your next stage of life. We are not going to be the one who handles everything forever, so we might as well start loosening our grip on that as early as possible. And when we know they can handle issues and problem solve on their own, and they've built up these life skills, we breathe easier. I think the parents who struggle with trusting their kids haven't given them enough opportunity. They haven't given them the chances to fail. So not only does wait for the ask help them, it helps you. It will also help you transition into being a parent of a young adult. You're supportive, but you're not doing the work for them. I mean, wouldn't you rather have them call you up and tell you how they solved a problem with the landlord and the leaky sink, instead of calling you up and just complaining about the leaky sink and waiting for you to get on the phone to talk to the landlord or send over a plumber? It's really freeing when you realize that your kids can do these things. It's just, I don't know. I think that might be the most important part of this letting go early, is being proud that You help them be this way. You help them figure out how to navigate the world by letting them and not doing it for them. This is also about creating a new relationship with our young adult. When we stay in that helping mode, we run the risk of them staying dependent on us. Or worse, they pull away or go no contact. I want to feel confident that my kids can handle problems because that will reduce my anxiety, it will reduce my worry, because I'm telling you, worry is perpetual. Like the day you have a kid, you worry forever and ever. And I wish somebody had told me that. Honestly, like, yeah, you can tell me how hard labor is going to be and how hard the teenage years are going to be, but why did no one warn me about the level of worry I would have for like no reason? It's just there. It's just this low hum of worry. So whatever I can do to reduce that, I'm going to do it. So start early, let the silence be there, wait for the ask, don't jump into action, not even in your head. Let them figure it out. And if they can't, you can be there to support them. If you like this topic, please make sure that you like and share. And if conversations about midlife, motherhood, and what we're doing next are of interest to you or of great importance, please make sure you subscribe.